Hey Danielle, this is my first time experimenting with the YouTube live stream, but I'm out here at the Appalachian Fair in Gray, and it's Gray, Tennessee. It's a very small town fair. It's a Monday, so I figured what better time to start doing a live stream, something never done before, than a slow day where I've got plenty of time that I can actually speak to the camera. But I've got the camera on a special like mount on the top of the drawing board, and the idea is that if I do get a customer up here that decides they want a drawing, I can flip the view around like this and then just like raise it up right there, and now you can see the board and you can watch the drawing being done. So I don't know, might be a good idea. What's up?
That's a Will Smith back there.
Oh yeah, you see my drawing of Will Smith there? Yeah, thank you. Because she just gave me a program so that I'm in touch with their schedule, what's going on out here. So I got that. Anyway, so you're the one person watching right now. So you and Kelvin were playing with the live stream. Hold on. Hey, there we go. Yes, Kelvin, it's love this idea. It's splendid. Well, you know, I don't know. It seems like YouTube has gotten really weird because like people that are subscribed to me are not getting notifications whenever I have a new video, and it's like when somebody goes live, they just have an entire wet dream over it. Oh, somebody's going live, we got to really publicize this. For some reason they seem to think that the live stream is like the next big wave. That's where all the money's going to start coming in. Maybe that's because like things like Twitch and stuff like that, people are making their living on it, and so now YouTube thinks they've discovered the next big thing. Let's put this live stream capability on our channel, it's going to be the next big thing. If anything, it'll be a passing gimmick. But I think it's good to balance out a YouTube channel with some live streams and some good content as well. That way, you're able to actually answer questions in real time. I've had some fun on some live streams with people I'm subscribed to. So you can actually talk to them in real time and ask them questions. It feels a lot more personal. So maybe that's why people are getting money from it too. Anyway, enough about me. How are things going out there in Live Oak? I gotta go get my surge. I need some liquid energy. Can you hear me okay? Am I doing all right? Surge, get to it. Awesome. kicked out of a Walmart parking lot again last night. That's another story. I might put that on one of my story times, but it's really not that big a deal. Really, it's one of these deals where, see, I didn't look at my schedule right. That's why I ended up going to the Huntsville Space Center, and then, like, right as I got into the parking lot of the Huntsville Space Center, I figured out, oh, wait a second, I'm supposed to be over at the Appalachian Fair tomorrow. So I went ahead and did it, though. I went ahead and did the whole tour through the Huntsville Space Center, and then went back to my campsite, got my camper, and hit the road, and drove until about 2 o'clock in the morning. And at that point, I still had 3 hours left on the trip, but I needed some rest. So I did the whole Google, where's the nearest Walmart near me? And it took me to one that was like right below Chattanooga, right below Chattanooga. It was right between Chattanooga and Alabama there. And I thought, man, I found a really great spot, because not only was it a Walmart, but it was a Walmart that was joined up right next to a Cracker Barrel. You know, a Cracker Barrel, they even advertise that they don't mind if overnight, campers, RVs stay in their parking lot overnight. And Walmart normally doesn't either. So there was like 2 of them right next to each other. There was already a camper there. There was an 18-wheeler there. I was like, oh, good. Found me a spot. And at this point, I mean, I was quite literally doing this. I was like, trying to stay awake. It's after 2 o'clock in the morning. So I pull in there between the 18-wheeler and the camper, and I just fell asleep. I just tilted my seat back, and I fell asleep right there in the driver's seat. Nestor's hopping around like, dude, man, what's going on here? But I just fell asleep for about 30-45 minutes, and then I woke up. I'm like, well, you know what, I might as well just stay here until about 7 o'clock in the morning and then finish the trip. So I went and got my generator, and I hooked the generator up and got it locked to the front of the camper, and went to go crank it up, and as I was about to crank it up, I noticed a blinking yellow light reflecting on the side of the camper. So I looked over my shoulder, and there was a parking lot security guard up at the corner close to me, because I'm way back in the back of the parking lot. That's what you're supposed to do when you park overnight. You don't want to take up prime parking spots. It's only courteous. You park way back. And so I was way back, and he's up there at the corner, and he's got his little flashlight and his little clipboard, and I don't know what he's doing. I have no idea, a crossword puzzle, something like that, just looking at me. And it was like he was just waiting for me to get the generator started and get in there with the air conditioner and get laid down, and then he was going to come over and knock on my door and get me back up. And I was like, okay, well, might as well go ahead and face this head on. So I walked over to his truck, and he looks over at me. I said, I'm about to go to sleep, and I just wanted to make sure you weren't going to give me a hard time. He said, what are you in? I said, I'm in that Tacoma over there. He goes, Tacoma? I just said it like he had never heard the word before. Are you in a personal vehicle? It's that white Tacoma over there. Well, if you're in a personal vehicle, the cops are probably going to get you. Okay. I'm really just here for the big trucks. The 18-wheelers. I said, well, I'm going to be in that utility trailer over there. He said, well, the cops are probably going to get you. I said, well, there's an RV over there, too. And he said, well, they're probably going to get them, too, because there's signs all over the place that says no overnight parking. And it was true. There was signs in the Walmart parking lot that said no overnight parking. But the area that we were in was like pushed way back, and it was next to the Cracker Barrel. It was technically out of the Walmart parking lot. It was more in the strip mall parking lot. So And it was like he was right there on the corner of his little jurisdiction, just looking at me, trying to harass me, give me a hard time. But when he said that the cops are probably going to get you, I had noticed that there was one black and white Crown Royal police car that had come into the parking lot of the Walmart, and he just went up to a parking spot. I guess he was going to go get a coffee or something. But so, seeing a cop car and just getting this really stupid but yet power hungry attitude from the parking lot security, I just said, okay, I'm going to leave. So I put the generator back inside the camper and locked everything back up, and I had to drive another about 20 minutes and finally found a Walmart that didn't have the yellow blinky light anal person driving around. Had a few other campers out there. I just hooked up my generator, got the air conditioner blasting, and finally got some sleep. Got about 3.5 hours, and let me tell you, Nestor was worn out too, because I mean, that little guy is like so hyper aware of everything that happens in the cab. He'll doze off from time to time, but then like if there's some interference through the AV cable, it goes or a big truck goes boom by like that, he just kind of perks up and he has to bounce around a little bit and say, what's going on, and then settle back down. So when we finally got to that Walmart and got inside the camper and got to sleep, and he was like a little brick, just he was out sleeping. And I had to get up 3.5 hours later to be able to make it here on time. I had to drop the camper off, then drive out to Gray and get here on time. So I'm waking up, and he's just like, no, not already. Oh, we just laid down. he wasn't happy about having to get back up. Oh, wait, we got some more viewers. Hey, there's got to be an option I can turn on so I can see all of your comments. I see them when they come in, and then they turn off. Where are you? Okay. Yeah, cops, they do have better things to do. Okay, so Danielle's really the only one that has commented so far. You got 2 other people. Sound off, guys. Who are you? What are you doing here? How do you know about my channel? Are you subscribed? Okay, so nothing so far. Well, even if you guys are quiet, welcome to the live stream. Happy to have you. So anyway, yeah, that's what happened last night. So I got out here. I actually got this whole booth. Waxless Revolution. Okay, Speedway and Lights. Oh my goodness, you must have been one of the very first subscribers. Well, thanks for sticking around so long. I know I've seen your comments here and there. Yeah, happy to hear from you, big guy, or girl, I don't really know. My blue new. Oh, that's right, my blue new. You were another one of the vendors. You were that the silk screener out there. How was that business going? Are you guys coming back to the Speedway and Lights this year? I sent my email in saying that I wanted to get my same space back again, but that was like 3 days ago, and I haven't checked my email again. I'm not real good about staying on top of my emails, to be honest with you guys. I'm more of an artist than a businessman. Yeah. Okay, Kyle Wheeler. Grandparents. Oh, okay. I'm guessing your grandparents were the ones that I talked to on the incline train going up Lookout Mountain over in Chattanooga. Is that right? Because I know they said that you were like always on YouTube, so that would make sense that you'd show up at a live stream. But yeah, your grandparents were cool, man. They were awesome. Anyway. Okay. So I was right. So while I've got you guys here, do you guys like Clatters the Trash Panda? Do you want to see more of him, or does that seem lame to you guys? Okay, well, I know Danielle likes Clatters. She's already said as much. But, what was those two vloggers that I met at the Tomato Festival, Will and Don? They do the Yankee in the South exploration of the Smoky Mountains area. I caught their live stream, and as soon as I saw my name come in the room, oh, you like Clatters too? Okay, cool. As soon as they saw my name come in the room, they were like, "Oh, look, it's Ash from Ashtoons. We love Clatters." They apparently really thought it was funny when Clatters grabbed that cartridge game of the Paperboy 2 and just threw it into the grass. So, everybody likes Clatters. I'm starting to think that Clatters and Nestor are more popular than I am. Which is okay. I'm just fine with that. Anyway, this fair right here last year, Tony Sabota, which is a really well-known artist from around the Nashville area, he was working on the Midway last year, and I thought it would affect my numbers, but by the end of the show, I really had about the same numbers as I had the year before, so he didn't really affect me that much. But still, you know, I'm a caricature artist. I would rather there not be another artist here. I just took a walk around, and he's not here. He's not here today. There's still a chance he could come in somewhere in the middle of the week and set up. Clatters and Nestor having their own YouTube channel. That's a thought. I don't know if I could produce enough material with the two of them. I might have to find another character to throw in there. Anyway. Yeah, so Tony Sabota's not here this year. Yet. But when I walked around that Midway to check and see if he was here, I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting sick of fairs because it's just like I'm a single guy walking around, and apparently, I mean, I know that I had that look on my face like I'm looking for someone, but that did not stop these carnies from doing the whole come on, you're a big guy, come on, Pac-Man, because apparently since I'm wearing Pac-Man, if they say Pac-Man, that's going to make me have a connection with them somehow. That's their reasoning. Come on, Pac-Man, you're a big guy. Get this ball. I know you can knock these bottles over. I'm so sick of it. The cheap Chinese knockoff toys with their single stitch and stuffed with styrofoam pellets that break open and fall apart on the way home. Oh, we got some people looking. Hey guys. We'll get some drawings here before the end of the day. Oh, we got another person come in. Here, let me lower it down a little bit more so you guys can maybe see a little bit more of when somebody comes by and starts looking at the sign. I'll make sure the sign hasn't drooped. Hold on. Yeah, that sign's getting old. This sign is 3 years old now, and it's really showing its age. I really need to get a whole new vinyl sign. I need to raise my price a little bit too. It's been so many fairs at festivals I've gone to where they're like, oh, it's only 10, it's only 15. Apparently my price, I haven't changed my prices since I started this business 4 years ago. And when I was doing festivals, even in my part-time, a good 9 years ago, I had the same prices. I have never raised them. If anything, like right over here, these mats, I actually lowered the price on those, and it helped me to sell more too. But I've never raised my price. I think if I was to change the price, I would like keep this sign. That way, if I do get to an area where like the cost of living is lower, like people a little bit, they don't have as much money, I can put up the lower prices. But then if I'm in somewhere like Marietta, I can put up the higher prices. I know it seems a little skeezy to do that, but hey, it's a common business practice. You know, you charge what people are able to pay. Need to do something, but I definitely need a new sign. Need to get a vinyl company, get a new sign going. Oh, look at this. My neighbors finally showed up. I had a blank spot over here next to me. My neighbors finally showed up. What are you guys selling? Skyline. Oh, it's home security.
It was actually a different group that they canceled.
Yeah, oh, the creative custom. You were on the waiting list, so you were on the waiting list?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, welcome to the Appalachian Fair.
Thanks, man. What's your name?
Ashley.
What are you doing? Art? Awesome.
I do
Sweet.
caricatures, yeah.
Sweet, man. I might be able to draw you some business.
Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah. We're back here a little bit set up.
All right. That's enough of me just talking. Does anybody have any questions? Y'all got anything y'all been wondering about? I know I had a few people asking about the CBD oil that I showed out. I started taking it back at the video where I made the wild blackberry jam, and I haven't said a thing about it since then. Well, I used up that entire bottle. That was the 750 milligram. Used up that entire bottle, and I didn't feel like I was really noticing that much of a difference, other than it helped me sleep a little better. So I just stopped, and after I stopped, it was like at that point, that's when I started realizing the difference that it made, because after I stopped using it completely, and that I wasn't getting that restful night's sleeping, you know, and I was getting a little bit of like sore joints in my lower back and my neck when I was waking up. So I was like, I got to get some more CBD oil. And so I found a vape shop out here that sells it, and I found the 1,000 milligram, very potent stuff. So it's expensive. But you can get it as high as 2,000 milligram. But I started with the 750. Now I'm up to the 1,000 milligram. That seems about what I need, though. And I'm just gonna keep taking it because it does seem to help with, if nothing else, it really helps me to get a good night's rest. And when you get a good night's rest, that helps everything else in your day. So there you go. That's the update on the CBD oil. Woo! So I'm getting a lot of families coming through now. A lot of times they'll come through and they look, and then they go check out everything else. They want to go to the exhibit halls a little bit, go look at the ride side, and then decide exactly what they want to spend their money on. This is my 4th year out here too, so I do have a good clientele I've already built up here. So before the end of the week, I'm going to have a nice big handful of families that I've already drawn. 3. This will probably be my 4th time for a few of them. Oh, look who it is! It is Mr. Anthony Davis in the house. How you doing, Anthony? How are things going out there in Galax? A normal circuit that I run, yes, I do. I have a list of festivals and fairs that I do every single year. But there's always a handful of weekends that I'm dropping a festival and trying something different every year. So I have a circuit, and then I've got those other weekends where it's just kind of like, I don't know, I'll try something else. So that's how I ended up finding the Steppin' Out Festival over in Virginia, and that one turned out to be really good. That's one I'm definitely putting the gold star next to. I'm gonna start doing that one every year. It was so hipster out there. Oh, so beautifully hipster. Oh my goodness! Like there was like a bread shop right across the street from me that would make whole wheat bread, and it would come out of the oven. Warm out of the oven, and then you could slice it and just eat it. Salmon hamburgers with like coleslaw. It had all that extra carrots in it, so the sweetness. Okay. Whew. I'm gonna gush about Blacksburg if I don't stop myself. Blacksburg, Virginia is a beautiful place. Hey guys, if you want to go see Asheville, North Carolina, and its whole hipster vibe, I've been to Asheville. It's said to be hipster, but it's not really anymore. It's gotten overcrowded. Just continue on. Go over to Blacksburg, Virginia. That's where the hipster scene is now. Hey, not bad. You guys want to get you one? Only takes about 5 minutes. You gonna do it?
We're gonna try it.
Alright guys, we got one. I'm live streaming right now, but it's all pointed this way.
Okay. You take debit card?
I do.
Okay,
Hey little man, you ready to get out of the sun for a minute? You don't even really have to take him out. As long as you back the stroller in right here, where I can see his face, we'll be just fine. All right, and did you decide on the color or the black and white? The difference is $10 to $15. You want to do the color? Good choice.
Color.
All right.
Like,
Oh, it was. There it is. Okay.
Why don't you smile for a second? Get your finger, smile. Smile for a second.
Oh, he'll totally understand after he sees the drawing. How old is he?
2.
2.
He just turned 2 and 2.
Oh my goodness.
Terrible 2.
I wasn't gonna say that.
Oh, it's true.
I know, it's a very true thing. Have y'all been out to the Appalachian Fair before?
Yeah.
County.
For the carousel.
Oh, y'all from Greene County?
Yeah.
I am too. Well, I should say I just moved there. I just moved there like August of last year. I was in Kennesaw, Georgia.
Where you living at down there?
You know where Tusculum is?
Yeah.
I could almost walk to Tusculum where I'm at. I'm over there where the airport is that they do the skydiving.
Oh, yeah.
Right there next to that.
You're in Airport.
Yeah, yep.
The White House Road on.
Yep, that's it. Right over there by that little, that weird little farmer's market in that guy's front yard.
Okay, yeah. That's
That
weird.
guy's got a little bit of an attitude on him, doesn't
He does. I know exactly what you're talking about.
he? He does home security systems.
I can play both of those. My mom bought tomorrow.
This is actually the first drawing I've done on YouTube live stream.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I just got this stand from Radio Shack, and I saw it in the stores, like, I could use that to do live streams on YouTube.
That's awesome.
Why do that? They do have coffee. I got into this because I was living at the time over in Mableton, which was just a few minutes from Six Flags Over Georgia. And I had a long break between semesters in college. So on a whim, I sent in my portfolio to the training program out there for their caricature department. And I didn't expect to hear back. I got the call. They accepted me in the program, and that was pretty much it. It was all a matter of convenience and opportunity.
Pretty crazy. You do every one of these.
Yeah, a lot of those are getting old and kind of sun bleached though. I need to redo them. I need to have a whole, need to redo my sign and everything.
Yeah, that Weird Al.
It is. I love Weird Al. I actually saw his version of Eat It. Or, no, I'm Fat. Yeah, I saw his version of I'm Fat before I saw I'm Bad.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. He's interested in that guy setting up the tent over there. Mommy's getting coffee. She needed some liquid energy. Alright, little guy, just have to color you now. Is that like a little mole there on his cheek, or is that a scratch?
Scratch.
It's a scratch, okay.
He's, for some reason, he's at the stove. Oh. I like to run into tables.
Yeah, that's called being a kid. I had stitches 6 times by the time I was 18. Yeah.
Over 2,000.
2,000 stitches? Oh my goodness, did you get in a bad car accident or something?
Nope. I had 9 here, 3 on my neck, 5 or 6 in my head, and then I had about 17, 18, just quite a bit in my mouth.
In your mouth?
Yeah.
A lot of oral surgery?
Yep. I had my jawbone reconstructed, re-scraped and everything.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
So by this point with you, it's like stitches are just like food, right? It's like, hey, don't even bother putting the deadener in there. Just go ahead and sew it up. I don't care. Just do it. Did you say that was the worst coffee you'd ever tasted? Can't be worse than the stuff you get in the waiting room at a oil change place. That community drip brew coffee. That stuff was just like, okay. The juice got a bone in it there, doesn't it?
That teeth got a bone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet tea. Southern boy.
Coffee,
Coffee.
So do you like coffee or
didn't know.
Wait, you saw him doing what now? The ship. What ship? Oh, the ship is in like the big rocking ship? Okay, yeah. Yeah, carny work, they don't, it's almost a requirement for you to have a criminal history and do that kind of stuff. Yeah. Every year I reach about August and I'm just so disgusted with fairs. I'm just like, I need a career change, need something, get away from this. If I see another bootleg Spyro airbrush t-shirt,
Oh yeah.
just sick of seeing that stuff.
they charge that rate for price?
I wouldn't know. I don't even price them anymore. I'm just disgusted by them.
It's cheaper to go.
Really?
Yeah.
Gatlinburg is cheaper than the fair.
I got one last
Wow.
year for
Tells you
$15.
something.
That does.
I got one for $50.
Okay, and yeah, blue eyes.
Yeah.
Definitely. Don't even have to ask. I can see
Daddy's
the
eyes.
blue eyes.
I fell in love with my green eyes. And that was she told me a while back.
Maybe the next one will have green eyes.
Yeah, speaking of nature.
You expecting? Have two kids to draw next year?
Yeah.
He swears up and
Ma-
down.
make it a
we're not.
yearly
I've already
thing?
had one. I know what it feels like. A girl knows. Mother's intuition.
One of them working things.
Well, I love being pretty. It's a cool experience. Wish you never know, but
You know, I heard somewhere that there's an actual chemical that a woman will like produce in her mind right after a pregnancy, after giving birth, that kind of makes them forget pain.
it is true. Once I held him, well, for like 5 seconds because he was preemie, so then
Yeah.
but I got to hold him for a few minutes, but I don't know, it just made me, I didn't think about the pain.
Yeah,
I just,
yeah, it's like one of
all
those
I thought
things
about
where
was him crying on my chest, so
you just totally forget because
yeah,
you know,
it's true. I don't know.
if
it's true
you
for
if you like
everyone.
if fully remember all of it, then you probably never have another one. Is the theory.
I don't know if I'm pregnant again. I'm worried because he was a preemie, so he was easy. So if this next one ain't a preemie, good lose. Help us all.
You know, Jeff Foxworthy was doing a routine where they were comparing the pain of passing a kidney stone to the pain of childbirth. And he said that passing a kidney stone was worse because there was never anyone that had passed a kidney stone but a few months later said, I think it's about time I pass another kidney stone. I'm going to drink myself a big 6-pack of Dr. Pepper, see if I can work myself up another kidney stone.
That's funny.
That's true.
No, I said after I had him, I said I see why a lot of people want more because they miss their kids being little and
Oh, yeah.
doing all that over again. So
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, little guy is done. You ready to see it? Yes, he is.
oh,
Yeah.
that's cute.
All right.
I get one of them. We put it in protection.
Want a protector sleeve.
Just so it don't get ruined.
Good choice.
What's
Good
that?
choice. What's that? What size?
What's that?
That is. It just makes it where it makes it where it'll fit into a 16 by 20 frame. It puts a border on it so it's easy to frame.
Yeah. Put the protection sleeve on.
Yeah, you can hang it up with the protector sleeve. I mean, that's what a lot of those on the back wall are hung with. Just like these are all hung up with. Put them in the bedroom. And there we go. Y'all are the first ones of the fair. First
Sit down, buddy.
ones on the live stream.
First ones you've had here at the fair?
So far today. This is my 4th year out here, so I've drawn a lot of people out here over the years.
I was about to say. That's pretty neat.
Red cheeks and all.
Oh,
You know, it'd be cool if we could do that every year. And like as he gets older.
Look at that. Now I've got to use my phone.
Oh.
You guys still there? All right, we're done with that drawing. We're about 47 minutes in so far. I'm not sure exactly how long to make this first live stream, but yeah, I had to use my phone to run their debit card, so I had to skip out for a minute. It looks like everybody left. I'm back down to 2 people. So what did you guys think of that? Were you able to see the drawing okay? Was it upside down? Was that easy to see? What do you think? Give me your thoughts. All right, looks like I've got Kyle, Danielle, and Anthony are still here. So what did you guys think? I mean, was it right side up? Because I don't really know how to tell. Oh, okay, so Kyle says he was able to see it pretty good. Okay, Danielle thinks it was neat. All right, so the consensus I'm getting is that view was okay. It used to be that YouTube would allow 4 hours for a live stream. I don't know anymore. Oh goodness, I doubt I would ever go up to 4 hours. Of course, I say that now. I think if I had like 50 people on here chatting and we were having a nice conversation, I might forget the time and end up going up to 4 hours. I don't know. So I think 2 hours is probably the most I would want to do at this point. Now that was just a basic 1-2-year-old little kid, so there wasn't a whole lot to see there. If I was to do like a couple, like 3 kids or a retired couple, it'd be a lot more fun to watch. Just say that. Because there's other things you can do when you start getting a little more elaborate. You got more to work with. But there you go. So that was a fun little family. I hope I do see them again some point next year. Ooh, sun's coming in on me. All right, guys. So I think I'm gonna want to make this a regular thing where I can do live streams and do the drawings live on YouTube. You know, if I do finally hit that mark where I'm, you know, get 2,000-3,000 subscribers, then running a live stream like this will be a really fun thing to do. I don't know. It's all in the future. That is, if YouTube survives. There's really no telling what the future of YouTube is going to be. Seems like they make some very poor decisions. You know what I'm talking about, don't you, Anthony? Like, I get a lot of subscribers saying, I went to your channel and I just saw you put up 3 videos. I didn't get a single notification. Why would YouTube do that? Why would they stop notifying people? And I've even heard stories where somebody, like, they'll be unsubscribed. They'll have a channel that they really like, and one day they realize, I'm not getting any more updates. Are they still there? And they'll go look them up, and some reason YouTube just went there, unsubscribe them. And don't know how, don't know why. Whatever. So if there was a better, if there was a good competitor to YouTube that would say things like, you know, on our platform, you can get subscribers and they're notified of every single thing that you do, then I would probably go to that. Just saying. Just saying. Oh, something else I've been meaning to ask you guys about. The movie reviews that I've been doing recently. I've had a lot of fun doing those. And part of that is just because I've been doing Marvel movies and I have a lot of like background in Marvel. I've actually read the comics. I've got some knowledge about the history of Marvel. So I think I have a little more to come from to base my criticisms on. So I've been having fun with that. But I want to do more movie reviews. I want to keep them. I want to keep them down to 7-8 minutes long. Just short mini-sode movie reviews. What do you guys think? What, do you think that's a good idea? And if so, what movies would you like to see me review next? Any thoughts on that? Okay, nobody's saying anything. Guess you guys must be a little indifferent when it comes to the movie reviews. Huh. Okay, well, Danielle says it's a great idea. She wants to see me review Meg. Now, Meg, that one I actually listened to the audiobook. It was based on a novel. And I actually listened to the original audiobook. So that is one that I actually already had plans to review. I'm going to. I'll probably do it like Monday or Tuesday. Take advantage of AMC's Half Price Tuesday. Go in there and watch Meg with a small crowd in the theater and really get the full experience. The giant shark chomping at the research center, leaving big teeth marks in it. Sharks are awesome, aren't they? Oh, wait, somebody just said something else. Come back, where was it? Oh, here we go, okay. What's it, web series I'd love. You should watch. Come back, where'd it go? You should watch some of the web series that I've told you about. I'd love to have some reviews on that stuff. Review a web series. Now that is something I have never thought of doing. I mean, how am I going to criticize a web series? I mean, that is such a different type of media than movie, than TV show. It's a web series. What can be said about it? You're talking about like the Geeks and Sundry and stuff like that, right? As those guys are pretty much already doing commentary about nerd stuff. So it would be like me doing commentary about other people doing commentary. It'd be very meta to do something like that. I don't know. That's something I'm going to have to think about for a little while.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Appalachian Fair. Tonight, we have a little bit of everything for everyone. For kids 12 and under,
Are you guys hearing
at 6
this?
p.m., the scavenger hunt
I'm on
kicks
live
off
stream
in the
on YouTube
4-H
right now.
building, with prizes and ride
See,
tickets to be won.
This is not a recording.
At
This is not a recording. There is
7 p.m., the engines will rev up in the Appalachian Arena as War Wizard, Culture Shock, Jesters, Kraken, and Full Board 2.0 kick off the Monster Truck event. If crushing cars isn't for you, then check out the Fairest of the Fair contest on the museum stage at 7:30. And finally, for the musically inclined, Eddie Montgomery of Montgomery Gentry will take the main stage at 8 p.m. Listen for more.
There's not even anybody here to really hear the
And as always,
announcements.
thank you. And have a
But he's going to do
wonderful
every
evening
single
here
one.
at the Appalachian Fair.
Have a wonderful day here at the Appalachian Fair. That is not a recording. That is not. I have to admire this guy's his endurance, because he still has that lively pickup to his voice all the way up till 10 o'clock at night sometimes. Here at the Appalachian Fair, and he'll just read out the announcements and whatever. When we get into the thick of it on the weekend, like on Saturday, we got so many missing kids that he's like, every few seconds he'll pick up and say, "We've got another missing child over here at the soundstage. He's wearing a Batman shirt, blonde hair. You know, he says his name is Timmy." A few minutes later, "We've got another lost child here by the soundstage." And by the end of the night, though, he gets that kind of tone where he's kind of like, "Guys, keep an eye on your kids. We got another lost kid over here." You can start hearing the exasperation creeping into his voice. That, yeah, he's got a. I think he likes being able to get over the PA and do his announcements. I feel like a radio personality. Anyway, so Kyle, you say you are a movie buff. You're a movie buff. Is there a certain type of movie that you enjoy that you would like to see more reviews on? Maybe 80s movies, maybe thrillers, maybe action movies, comedies. I pick up so many DVDs in theater and thrift stores and watch them as I'm going to sleep and watch them all the time. Be a fun thing to be able to do more of those. Most of them like minimum of 7 to 10 minutes, maximum 15 minutes long. Yes, please send me some of the links on Facebook. I'm not real like active on Facebook anymore. I'm more of a getting more into YouTube. But yeah, you know, if you send me some links of these, like if there's shows that are on Facebook themselves, that would be a neat thing. I'll try and watch some of those and give you some commentary on them. You draw through most of the movies that you watch. Okay, so you're an artist. This I was not aware of. Do you have a place where you're displaying your art? Maybe a DeviantArt page or a Facebook page, something I can look at? I'm gonna start on this can of Monster Java with its scratch marks. This is 3 claw marks. That's Wolverine right there. If it was 4, it'd be Freddy Krueger, but this is 3, so that's Wolverine. Oh, we got a 4th person. Hello, Mr. 4th person. Introduce yourself. Say hello to everybody. I'm a traveling caricature artist. I'm out here at the Appalachian Fair in Gray, Tennessee. And I've got the camera mounted to the drawing board, but I can turn the view around so that you can see the paper. So if I get a customer, I turn the view around and let you guys watch me draw the drawing. That's the idea of the live stream. So I know the title says drawing at the fair, and you come in and all I'm doing is talking, but just understand, if I got a customer, then I would turn it around and you get to see the drawing being done. I just finished a 2-year-old a few minutes ago, and with big blue eyes. It was fun to draw. Nice little family. So we're up to 1 hour right now. I'm gonna go up to 2 hours. You guys might get to see another drawing being done if somebody comes by that seems interested. You guys can kind of see the stream of people going by here. I've got it so you can see that. So if somebody looks interested in the sign and I'm not looking that way, just get my attention. Say, hey, somebody's looking at the sign. I can turn around and talk to them. John Beals. Hi, I'm John Beals from North Carolina. Are you going to be at ISCA? You know what? The next ISCA is going to be, that's the International Society of Caricature Artists, for those of you that aren't aware. The next one is going to be in San Diego, California, I believe. And I'm just an artist out here on the East Coast. I really don't have the funds to go all the way to San Diego for ISCA this year, which is disappointing because I had a wonderful time and it was in Orlando last year. But no, I can't really do that. I can't go all the way to California for ISCA. I'm sorry, guys. But on a positive note, they bounce back and forth. So next year it should be back on the East Coast again. So if it's anywhere close to my route, I will make time for it and go to ISCA again. I'm telling you, my whole coloring style, my art style changed after those 4 days at ISCA. it really influences you in a good way. It's a wonderful, wonderful learning experience. Good seminars, good lessons. Everything was fantastic. Absolutely loved this guy. I did an entire vlogging series about it. Some of the videos were so long I had to break them up and put up 2 videos per day while I was at ISCA. If you guys have any wonder about that at all, just scroll back to my channel, back to like, I think that was like some of the first things I started to vlog. So just like vlogs 20, 30, somewhere like that. So go back and look at those. Wait, somebody was saying something. I'm not sure exactly why I'm not seeing all the comments as they're coming up. I have to just kind of tap it and see. Kyle Wheeler only can put in the links in the chat. It's how YouTube have set things up. Same here. Okay, so John's not going to be able to. John Beans is not going to be able to go to ISCA this year either. Okay. So same deal with you then. Just can't swing it. Can't spend the money to go all the way to California. As much as I hear like good things about California, about how like the weather is so beautiful and the fruit and everything is just so beautiful out there. I hear so many other stories too about how anal the cops are. I've watched a lot of YouTube channels about people that, like nomads, that live out of their vehicles and they travel the country and they do web series about all the places that they go to. A lot of rock climbers do that. A lot of fun to watch. But a lot of them will say that the 2 states where they have the most run-ins with really anal cops are number 1, Arizona, and number 2, California. The cops will not let you sleep in your vehicle in California. So that's pretty much how I get around. I don't know if I'd be able to handle it. I would end up having to pay for a lot of hotel rooms. They would have to be pet friendly. I'd be paying out the wazoo for hotel rooms so that I wouldn't get harassed by cops out of my vehicle. I don't. The only other option is, just fly out there, do the whole rent a vehicle, get a hotel room, spend thousands of dollars to go to ISCA. Yeah. Maybe one day things will work out where I can actually have that kind of money, but I don't see it happening anytime soon. Oh, number 1 state for people that live out of their vehicles is Alaska. There are stories of people in Alaska that will be driving their camper down the highway and they'll see a clearing off the side of the highway. They will park there and live there for 5 days before they move on, and nobody says a word. Alaska sounds like a wonderful place. I'm going to have to see Alaska one day. Oh, hey, now that I'm thinking about it, Anthony, I watched some of your videos where you were doing the semi-impromptu interviews, and it was like the camera view kept popping back and forth between you and the person you were interviewing. It was like whoever was speaking, that's who the camera focused on. And it wasn't seamless, but it was pretty good. But I don't know how you did that. Is there any way you can kind of step me through that? Is there a way maybe I can get you in on this chat so that we can see you and we can talk back and forth? Is there a way I can do that? Is there a button? I'm using my phone right now, so I'm just using the YouTube Android app. I don't even know that. I know it's different than the Google Chrome on a laptop. So there might not be a way to do it on this. What do you think? They got some pink hair walking by. It's like cotton candy, like cotton candy, like the bubblegum princess from Adventure Time. Hello. Denise. Okay, we got somebody named Denise that has joined the room. Denise, have I met you? Were you somebody that I've spoken to in person already, or are you just somebody that just kind of discovered me on YouTube here? Okay, I'm not seeing any options here. Oh, okay, so we've never met before then. Denise. So how did you find the channel? Was it something that just popped up in your feed, or is there something that you searched? What's your story? Oh, you know Will and Don, or Don and Will. Man, they are a great couple. They just recently did a video. Wait a second. There is a way to do it. You just have to bring me in, but you have to get Google Hangout. Google Hangouts. I don't have that app yet. That's something I have to work on later. Will and Don, they just did a video recently where they were told by word of mouth about a hidden cabin out on a Smoky Mountain hiking trail. And it's one of these that it's not marked on the trail map. And when you get to the turnoff to go to the cabin, the turnoff is not marked either. You just have to know that it's there. You can easily miss it. But they found the cabin and walked to it. And it was a really well-kept cabin. All the chinking was in place. And it had a guest book, and it had some... what do they call that? Like folder protector sheet, kind of 3-ring binder there with pictures of the history of the cabin. And you were allowed to like bring in your own little food supplies and cot and whatnot and stay overnight if you wanted to, completely free, just so long as you clean up afterwards. There was a broom and cleaning supplies there, so you were supposed to clean up after yourself, leave no graffiti, just be respectful of the cabin. And you learn about it by word of mouth. There's a little hidden cabin out there. I thought that was so cool that there was something like that existed, and it was just hidden, and it was all just word of mouth. It made me really want to go out there and find that cabin and stay in it overnight just for the experience of it. That'd be wonderful. That'd be a great video to have. Yeah. Anyway, Will and Don, great couple. Their channel is Yankee in the South. All one word, and they are exploration machines. They put out like 2 to 3 videos a week, and it's all stuff that has to do with the Smoky Mountains and waterfalls and bear loops and hiking trails and stuff like that. And they do it like all the time. They're always putting stuff up, so go check them out. Yankee in the South. What was it? Okay, cool. I'm gonna have to look into how to do that. Okay, cool. Yeah, I want to get on one of your impromptu interviews. So Hi guys. Man, that ice cream. He had an ice cream on an ice cream cone that had big chunks of raspberry just sticking out of the ice cream. Ah, makes me want to go find where he got it and get myself a cone of it. Anyway, all right, Denise. Well, thank you for joining us and subscribing to my channel and all that. You know, something that I've been wanting to do. Tell me what you guys think of this. Is I want to start doing like games with my friends and have one of these like really unpleasant punishments for when you get something wrong and you lose the game. I know it's like it's all over YouTube to do that now, but I want to do like whenever next time I'm in Live Oak and I'm over there with Danielle. Danielle, are you still in here? So anyway, next time I'm in Live Oak and I'm hanging out with Danielle, I want to do like the what was that one called? Would You Rather. There's a game called Would You Rather, and it's an app as well. And so what I would do is I would come up with a Would You Rather question, and then I would try to predict what Danielle would choose. And then she would make her choice and give her reason for the choice. And then if I get my guess wrong, then I have to eat a bug or something like that. There's like these dry roasted bug packs that you can get. Would that be a video you guys would like to see? I mean, Would You Rather itself, just that game by itself can be an entertaining thing to watch. People playing Would You Rather. But I'd like to do like a video like that with Anthony, with Danielle, with maybe even with Will and Don if I ever meet up with them again, or just friends that I come across on YouTube. What are you coloring with today? Okay, we got a newcomer. The coloring that I use. Okay, here they are. They are, I'll just show you the package. Okay, they're called Prismacolor Art Sticks. And the word stick, here it is. Art Sticks. And the word stick is just S-T-I-X. Sticks. Art Sticks. And then right below Art Sticks, it has the little blurb. It says woodless colored pencil. And so pretty much what it is Prismacolor's colored pencil with no wood and then shaped like a pastel. It's got a square shape to it. So you can wear a side flat and then turn it and then kind of use that, and then you end up getting a point and you can use that too. And it's all wax based. So the only drawback is you really have to bear down hard in really cold weather, and in really hot weather it gets a little gooey. So it starts coming off on your fingers a little bit and it starts to sweat a little bit. But really, it has to be an extreme hot or an extreme cold for it to really affect your coloring. So that's what I'm coloring with. Thank you for asking. Okay, and that question came from Jim P. Animation. Okay, Jim P. Animation. Are you somebody that I've met in person before, or did you just find me somehow on YouTube here? Okay, so somebody that just straight up found me on YouTube. Well, welcome aboard, Jim. I hope that you give my channel a little subscription. I update 2 to 3 times a week. Not a lot of it really has to do with art, I'll have to admit up front. Most of it is about the life of the traveling caricaturist, life on the road, all the different places that I explore, and hiking trails and all kinds of different foods that I try, and the people that I meet, and a lot of movie reviews, and a lot of stuff about my cat. Somehow he's really popular. But thrift store finds, that kind of thing. But there will be some artwork. That's what this is about. If I could get a customer that would come by and seem interested and want to get a drawing done, I've got a way I can push a button on this camera and it'll turn around, so the view will turn around so you can see the paper. And if I'm drawing a customer, you get to watch as the drawing is being done. But since I did a vlog about ISCA in Orlando. Yes. Well, I mean, so you've been with me for a while then. That's great. That's great. Can't do ISCA this year. We've already talked about that already earlier. John was talking to me about that. They have the ISCA is going to be all the way out in San Diego, California this year. So I don't really have the time or money to fly all the way to California for the for ISCA this year. Sorry about that. But it does bounce back and forth. So next year, 2019, it's going to be back on this side of the country, and if it's anywhere close to where I can get to it, I'll try to make time for it and get back out there again. Hopefully I'll get to see you there. Did y'all have any other questions? Something I forgot to mention. My next YouTube video vlog that I'm going to put up is going to be from the Huntsville Space Center. Oh. Yeah, well, let's hope it happens at some point. I already drew one kid. I think that was before you joined the room, but I did draw one kid.
And there goes the bull.
See, a lot of these families have to come in and they have to see everything first, and then they kind of just start to decide where they're going to spend their time and their money after they've seen everything. So, like the entrance, like it's down there, and they're all passing by here. They see me, and then they, sometimes they'll come back. Anyway, the Huntsville Space Center. I was expecting something like the Air and Space Museum in DC, where it had like real artifacts, like moon rocks and like helmets, space helmets, and parts of the Mercury shuttle and the Saturn V and whatever. Okay. Well, sorry I wasn't able to. Wait, who said that? Oh, okay. Yeah. Anthony's got to go. Yeah. When his schedule says it's time for him to eat something, it's kind of important that he does that. So, thanks for coming by, Anthony, and giving us your insights here on operations of YouTube. And hopefully, I will see you in another live stream later on. Anyway. So, I was expecting something like the Air and Space Museum out in DC, but when I got there, it was like at least 2/3 of the Huntsville Space and Rocket Center was just kid stuff. Now, I'm not kidding when I say kid stuff. It was like some of those little kiosks where they get to push buttons and they see the lights changing, and they get to, it's supposed to teach them lessons on physics and stuff. It's like the science museum kind of thing, but this was Huntsville Space Center. It was supposed to, that's what I thought, it was supposed to be about the history of space exploration, but it was mostly a science museum for kids. And it even had like a rock climbing wall and rides. It had like one of those rides that shoots you straight up and then drops you, and then it had a gravitron. They didn't call them a gravitron or a great gas. They called them an accelerator and a G-force simulator to make it sound more sciencey. But it was just carnival rides, and it was just like so many little kids, and I was just like, I was so upset because I had come out there. I drove an hour and a half out of my way to get out there, and I wanted to see like space exploration history artifacts. And then finally, near the end of the tour, I went into the Saturn V building, and that's where all of it was. I should have spent the entire time in there reading all the plaques, but I wasn't aware. So, as a pro tip for you guys, if y'all are in Huntsville and you decide to go to the Huntsville Space Center, just skip all the other stuff. Just go straight to the Saturn V building. They had like parts of Skylab in there. They had an actual command module from the Saturn V with scorch marks on it from the re-entry. They had the parachute, the docking mechanism from when the lunar module shot back up off the moon surface and then reconnected with the shuttle in orbit. That docking mechanism right there where you can see it had the artificial horizon they were using while they were in orbit. Even had like old memory banks back when they were like 1,000 K manually woven computer memory chips that were like this big, and they had them there, and it was just that building made it worth it. That was really cool. But yeah, if I had known better, I would have just like skipped everything. Don't even pay for the IMAX. The IMAX movie they had in there was lame. It was so pandering and lame. So don't bother with the IMAX. Just go to the Saturn V building. They even have like a replica of the Saturn V to scale through the middle of the building. You can actually look up and see it mounted to the ceiling and see the separations where the different stage rockets separate as it goes further up into orbit. And it was so cool. But I digress. That will all be on the next vlog, so look forward to that. Okay, well, we are at an hour and 27 minutes now, and I don't know. You know what? I'll give it a few more minutes if maybe I'll have somebody interested. I really wish I could get at least one more drawing on this stream. Oh, somebody's asking what got me into art. Wait, there was something else. Okay. Okay, so Kyle was asking what got me into art. Don't forget, Kyle was asking about your art too. If you have a way that you've published that online, if there's something I can give you a shout out on to get people to go look at it, a Facebook page or a DeviantArt page or anything, so we can see your stuff. What got me into art? Well, believe it or not, the thing that really got me into art, my first love of art, came from newspaper comic strips. Because I grew up in a very, very conservative family. We were not allowed to have a television. Everything was, we watched movies occasionally when we were over at like a grandparent's house or at a friend's house. but we did not have a television or a way to watch movies in our own house, and that was all part of the it's a worldly influence kind of thought. So instead of watching movies, we read comics and we played a lot of video games. Now you were like, oh wait, you didn't have a TV, how'd you play video games? We had an old Commodore 64 monitor that had AV inputs, and so you could hook that up to a Nintendo just fine, and it didn't pick up any channels at all. So we used that. We played the heck out of a Nintendo and a Super Nintendo, and we listened to a lot of audiobooks. My mom read to us every day, so I got a love of literature and a very strong love of comic strips, because they were considered okay. So the first ones that I really loved was Calvin and Hobbes. Oh my goodness. When I think of that time in 1995 when the news came over the radio that Bill Watterson had quit and there would be no more Calvin and Hobbes, I was so upset. And then there was the cleverness of Gary Larson's Far Side. There was Bloom County. There was Hagar the Horrible. All the old greats, like Hagar the Horrible and Garfield and Peanuts and Wizard of Id and DC and all of these. And I got into those for a while. I didn't really get into superhero comics at first for a long time because they just seemed too fantastical and just like, how do you describe it? It's like all that spandex and action and punching. It was like a story with it was like eating a story that had nothing but frosting on it. If you understand what I'm saying, not a whole lot of savoriness or zest or other flavors. It was just like, yeah, I mean, I love eating cake, I love eating frosting, but who wants to do nothing but eat cake and frosting all day? There was not a whole lot of substance to the whole skin tight women in spandex, kicking with their legs high up in the air kind of. Didn't really get into that. I ended up getting into Marvel Comics later on, but for the longest time it was all about those comic strips. And if you'd asked me, when I was between 18 up till my early 20s, what I wanted to be when I grew up, I would tell you I wanted to be a syndicated comic strip artist that had 2,000 newspapers and syndication strong all across the nation, and every morning kids would open the newspaper and read my 4-panel comic and be excited about the full page collar one that was going to come out on Sunday. That's what I wanted to be, but was not to be, because newspapers are dying now. But for 5 years straight, I had a webcomic, and it was called Frogskin Boots, and I had it on Keenspot. Was it Space? Keenspace.com. It was a big webcomic publisher at the time, and I updated it regularly for 5 years. And I got a little publisher in Atlanta that did self-published or indie comics publishing. So I had some comics that were being sold in like underground music stores around Atlanta, but that's as far as I was able to get. I had a few hundred people that would come in and read my comics whenever I updated them. I had a few comics that were out there on the shelves, and I would go to little small press comic conventions and sign autographs. And I had fun with that, but it just wasn't making money. It was the biggest love of my life was to draw comics, but it just wasn't making money. So now I'm a caricaturist because that's what people pay for, and my art goes into my vlogs now. I'm sorry. I'm rambling. on now. So, anybody else have a question?
You put a picture on my arm.
What's that?
You put my name. You put a picture of me and my girlfriend on my arm.
Oh, sorry. I can't draw from cell phone pictures.
Okay.
Sorry. Very good. You should have an Instagram. It's a very good media. You know, a lot of people have been recommending Instagram to me. Anthony Davis, that just left the room, man, he said that for a long time. You know, you need to get on Instagram. You need to get on Instagram. And I got an account on it, but I can't seem to really get excited about it. It's just pictures, guys. It's just pictures and small video clips, man. I'm into vlogs. I'm into videos that are 10 minutes long and make you think. I just don't see the appeal of Instagram. I know that there's people that, you know, will put up pictures of their dog and get 2,000 subscribers, and it's a great way, but I can't get the motivation for it. I don't understand the appeal of it. I need to just bite the bullet and try to learn it, but I don't know. I like YouTube. Okay. Florida artist. Now you're asking about Tim Reed. Tim Reed I've actually worked for quite a few times, actually. But whenever I work for him, I work a commission, it's usually 50%, which is fair. Okay, I'm not going to complain about the 50% commission. It's a lot of theme parks that will bring you down as low as 16% down to 25%. So I'm not going to complain about his commission, but when you're used to working your own fairs and your own festivals, where you pretty much just have to make back the money, the price of the booth, and then you get to keep everything else, minus the tax and the gas and your camper stay. So it really feels like when you're working for somebody else, it really feels like you're working twice as hard for half the money. I've worked with Tim Reed a lot. His crew he has a wonderful crew. So I've worked with them at the North Carolina Mountain State Fair, the Dixie Classic, the Central Florida Fair in Orlando, the Clearwater, what was it called, the Manatee County Fair. It's even the Peanut Festival out in Alabama. I've worked with him so many times in his crew, and he's a great boss. He's like the best boss that I've ever worked for. But I want to keep working for him at least 1 week out of the year, because whenever I work on his crew, I learn a lot from the other artists, because he's got some great artists working for him. So every year I hope to work with him for at least a week or two, just to draw from him. But I can't work with him that much anymore, because it's, like I said, twice as much work for half the money. That's how I met Lo too. Lo's one of my best friends, and her wife Liz is one of my best supporters on YouTube. She watches a lot of my videos. So hey Liz, if you're ever watching this live stream, And the other one you asked about was Lar. And Lar I met years ago at Dragon Con. He had a little bit of a falling out with the organizers of Dragon Con because he was given a certain booth, and then when he got there, they had sold his space to somebody else, so they ended up moving him into like an exhibit hall or something where it was a lot harder for his fans to find him. And so they had a little bit of a tiff about it, and he's not really coming back to Dragon Con. But that's where I met Lar for the first time. And if you guys don't know, Lar has worked for Universal down in Florida as a character artist for a long time. He also does a couple of web comics. One of them is called Least I Could Do. The other one's called Looking for Group. Some really good web comics. I mean, guys making money off of web comics. That's a hard thing to do, but he does it well. And he's good enough that he's even had feature spots in Exaggerated Features magazine that's put out by ISCA. So I've met Lar, yeah, so he's an inspiration. I absolutely love Lar. Is there anybody else? Oh, what other Florida artists do I know? Well, I don't know, let's see, Florida artists. Most of the artists that I've worked with down in Florida. Oh, wait a second. There was another artist that works at Universal. I ended up working right next to him at the Central Florida Fair this year, and his name was Daniel. And he's a Universal artist. And he showed some of his studio work, and he's trying to get a job with Blizzard, doing the Blizzard card game. And he was showing some of his artwork, and it really did look like he needed to be working for Blizzard. This guy was good. So he does that like in his own personal studio, and he also works at Universal. So that's another artist I really, really like down in Florida. I can't remember what his last name is, but he's Daniel. Then there's another guy named Justin Dick. I did not get along well with Justin Dick. I'm going to recommend that if you are invited to go work a job and you're told that you're going to be right next to Justin Dick, probably shouldn't take the job. That's all I'm going to say about that. Just giving you guys a fair warning. Alright, we got some people dropping out. I've pretty much run out of things to talk about, and I'm not getting any more customers to get a drawing done. I'll tell you what, guys. Just keep an eye on YouTube. I'm going to go ahead and end the live stream now, as we're getting close to 2 hours anyway. I'm going to go ahead and end the live stream now. And if I get some more faces later on that look interesting, then I'll turn the live stream back on and start drawing them. So that's the best I can do at this point. I was really hoping for more customers, but it's unpredictable. It's the best I could do. All right, I love you all very much, and that's it for now.